Welcome, my lovely learners, to today's activity. We will be looking at climate change in humans and environment. Climate change in humans and environment. Let's look at our objective for today. We are learning to what? We are learning to explain climate change. Climate change. And also identify some activities that destroy the environment. They can also ask you is causes or activities that destroy what? The environment. That is what we will be looking at. And our key word for today is what? Climate change. Climate change. Alright, someone can ask you what climate change is. You have to be able to tell the person or explain to the person what this really means. What the seasonal change in the weather for some period of time. Your sentence can be different from my sentence. But let's look at what this saying climate change means. Climate change is the change in the average weather and its related changes in oceans, land surface over a long period of time. So you realize that this word, long period of time, weather, average, the change, the word change. So if your definition, you did not bring ocean or land surface, some books they have omitted this and this, but it doesn't matter. You can also explain climate change by bringing the word keyword change in weather over a long over a long period of time. This can come as a definition of climate change. You should be able to explain and explain it very brief. Let's look at some of the causes or activities that destroy the environment that leads towards climate changes. Now, look at the first one, burning of bushes or bush burning. Burning of bushes or bush burning. Now, some of our parents are farmers, excuse me to use them as example. They have been weeding their various plots. They will cut down the trees and then wait for some time. The farm weeds will dry and they will burn them. In that process of burning, you realize that when the fire is burning well, there will be smoke coming. If there are some animals around, they will also be running away. Not necessarily the farming, but in the dry season, sometimes some people have been catching or hunting animals by the use of fire. When it happens like that, you realize that the bush will be burning when they set fire. It will burn with what? Smoke. It will be burning with what? Smoke. Where does those smokes go to? Where does the smokes goes to? You have to ask yourself. Now, these burning bushes or bush burning causes what? Or destroy the climate or bring changes in the climate. Let's look at the other one. Burning of rubbish. Burning of rubbish. Sometimes some of our parents, the rubbish they have been doing at home, instead of them packing or getting some dustbin so that they can collect the rubbish and dump them well in the bin. They will not do that. They say, okay, let me quickly burn it here because I don't have money to pay Zoom Lion or those taking the rubbish. So they will gather the rubbish somewhere and they will set fire in the rubbish. Sometimes it smells, when they are burning those rubbish, it smells very bad, but you don't have any say. They also cause changes in the climate or the environment. Now, let's look at mining. Mining activities also cause a lot of changes in the environment or destroys the environment. In what means? Some of our parents are what miners. They deal in this galamsey, and sometimes when in their field you realize that they need a lot of water to use during their process, and the only source of water near them is what? The stream or rivers, which is free to them. You realize that they wash their tools, their activities they have been doing it with a lot of water. When they realize that this is going on, they pollute the water. Sometimes the water you go and fetch and drink, because of the galamsey or illegal mining, you realize that that water will be polluted in a sense that the water will look like mud. Have you seen it? The surface will be very, very dirty. Water is colorless, but this one, when it happens, you can force yourself to tell the color of that water. All right, let's look at the next point. Cutting down of trees or deforestation. Cutting down of trees or deforestation. Now, sometimes I explained this earlier on, not necessarily our parents who are farmers, but sometimes the lumbering work or activities that have been going on illegally. Sometimes some people will go into the forest, they will cut down trees purposely for log or other activities, either for charcoal or anything. When the trees are being cut down like that without replacing them, they are also destroying the environment. Sometimes the trees around the water bodies, it protects them. But when you cut them down, you realize that it is high percentage that those water bodies can dry off within the shortest period. All right, the next point. Throwing rubbish into water bodies. Throwing rubbish into water bodies. Sometimes, as I explained earlier on, some of our parents, they can they can gather the rubbish and pack them nicely in a polythene bag or in a bin. Then they will wake up early in the morning, dawn. Then they will take that rubbish as if they are traveling. Before you realize, they will go and throw it in the nearby stream or the river beside them, and they will just come back home. The river that they are not fetching, some people are fetching it far away. So when you dump or put in your waste or refuse in the water bodies, you are polluting the water. When you will not fetch and drink because you are taking pipe here, somebody will go and fetch the stream and they will be drinking and using it at home. So we shouldn't just gather our hot rubbish and go and dump it just because we don't have money to pay the Zoom Lion to take our hot rubbish for us. We should keep all this safely. You shouldn't burn the bush. We shouldn't burn rubbish at home. Rather, we should find dustbin, put the rubbish in it, and the Zoom Lion or those disposing the waste will come for them. There should be proper mining or legal mining. The acceptable way of mining, the one accepted by law. That is what we are to use in mining our minerals. We also have to stop cutting down the trees. Permission has to be asked from the forestry authority, or the appropriate channel must be followed so that our trees will be maintained, our water bodies will also stay longer without destroying them. And also we have to stop throwing rubbish or waste into water bodies. These are some of the things we learned today, the definition of climate change and causes or activities that destroy the environment or climate change. Till we meet again, have a safe moment. Bye-bye.